Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and I'm here today with another lovely piece of pre-owned inventory. This is the 2012 911 Carrera 4S. 2012 can be kind of a confusing year for the 911 because you'll find both 997 generations like this one, as well as some of the 991 generation, which is the newer one. They redesigned it, got a little bit bigger, changed quite a bit actually, and you'll find some that are, the 997, which is the earlier version, but for a lot of people represents a real sweet spot where it has a good level of modern technology. You have, you have Bluetooth in this with the touchscreen infotainment system. You have, importantly, the PDK dual clutch transmission. A lot of that stuff everybody wants, while still having hydraulic steering and a little bit of a more analog feel compared to the later ones that came out. So being a Carrera 4S, this is of course all-wheel drive and has the 3.8 liter naturally aspirated flat six, made 385 horsepower in this year. But that's just kind of speaking generally. Let's speak about this one in particular because it is really quite a special car. Starting with the outside, this color is called Ruby Metallic, Ruby Red Metallic, and while not a paint to sample color, it was a series production color, but you really don't see it very often. It's quite rare and was only available for a pretty short window of time. And to my eye, I think it looks great and just quite different. You don't see other colors even like it out there. There's not that many red Porsches in general, and then obviously that many fewer that are in this ruby color, which is really, really neat. To emphasize that color on this one, there's a little bit of extra paint around the car. You'll notice things like the painted side skirts. Rear fascia has a little bit more paint on it as well, just giving you a little bit more of that. This one has the 911 Turbo 2 design wheel, 19 inches, with the colored crest in the middle. I think it's a great looking wheel, probably the best one that was available in this model year to me. As well, you have the preparation for roof transport system. So if you do want to drive this year round and put a roof box on, you can do it. It's not just sport, but a bit of utility with this one as well. Outside, I think that's kind of most of the stuff I wanted to mention. Inside is where this one really sets itself apart. So most significantly, right off the top, it has a leather to sample interior. So of course, Porsche will offer lots of different choices with your interior colors, but if none of them quite suit what you're after, you can use the program called Leather to Sample, and you can bring in a color of leather that you want. You sometimes have to wait a little bit extra time, and of course it costs a little bit more, but you have something exceptionally individual, which is what happened here. So we don't actually have a color name for this, but to my eye it's very similar to the cream that Porsche used to offer. So this is a two-tone black and cream, or close to it anyways. But then beyond that, beyond just the unique color, there's a ton of very rare and I think awesome leather options that were added in this one that you just never see, very rarely see on our vehicles. So you have, of course, your full leather, meaning not only your seats, but your door, your dash, even the extended dash right up to the windshield is all leather wrapped with the stitching throughout. Absolutely beautiful. But some of the other leather extras that were added, the headliner is leather, so everything above your head, that's all leather, as well as even the seatbelt outlets. So that that little piece that the seatbelt comes out of on your B-pillar, even that is leather wrapped. The sun visors are genuinely leather. They would have been vinyl as standard, but they were wrapped in leather. Your air vents are leather in this case. The speaker grills are, not the grills, but the surrounds are leather with contrasting stitch around there. The seat backs are leather with contrast stitch. And then even selected beyond that is the little coat hook on the back of the seat. That was selected to be wrapped in leather as well. Every little kind of piece that that the original purchaser could have wrapped in leather, it appears that they did. The center console is leather. And while the center console kind of in between the seats is rarely selected in leather, you do see it from time to time. But this one, even kind of above that, the area surrounding all of your buttons and everything in that area, kind of around the PCM, that's all leather wrapped here as well. So it's really, really unique. You just never see that kind of stuff. And then some other trimmings that are cool to see in here too. Carbon trim, and then the carbon gear levers, what I'm trying to say, carbon gear lever to match, carbon door sills as well, and then this also has carbon on your emergency brake and a couple of other spots in there too. Really, really, luxurious, opulent feeling interior. I love leather options, as you might know if you've seen some of these videos, and this is one of the most extreme examples of lots of leather that I've ever seen. And I just think it's so cool that Porsche allows you to to do that. You know, if you don't like plastics, if you feel like that makes an interior feel cheap, well, first of all, this is the car for you, but Porsche is the brand for you, because you can really cover just about everything in leather rather than leaving it as plastic. So this is a great example of that. Some other options that are worth mentioning in this one as well: it does have the dynamic headlights. It has, what else did I want to say? Oh, the parking assist is here, heated steering wheel, and of course the more performance-oriented stuff like the Sport Chrono package. So you have Sport Plus mode and launch control, that's here too, as well as the Sport exhaust options that you see all the time now, but were a little bit more rare in and around the 2012 model year. The seats are heated, which was optional at the time. They are also the adaptive sport seats, so they give you a little bit more support. Even in their most neutral position, they're just more bolstered, but then you have variable bolstering too, and you can have the seat wrap you a little bit tighter if that's your preference too. They tend to fit most people, and if they don't, you can kind of adjust them so that they do. It's a really, really great seat. But I think that pretty much sums up everything that I wanted to talk about here. I'm sure there's quite a bit more that I've missed, because it is quite an exceptional car, as I said. When we're done with our video here, we'll be bringing it upstairs and putting it in the showroom. So if you want to learn more, you can come down and pay us a visit and check it out in person. Thanks very much for watching.